being an entrepreneur is full of failures, right? It's just part of what comes with the territory. What are
Yeah.
some of your failures that you've experienced, either in your career or very big things, or some of the hardest lessons learned that at the time you're like, damn, this sucks. But now you're like, I'm so happy I went through that because it taught me a valuable lesson.
So I mentioned that, I'd been back into technology for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then like TechCrunch does this cover story on this startup. So, I mean, the way that that happened is uh, I tossed together a quick press release, and I sent it in to TechCrunch and to Michael. It was just Michael Arlington at the time. There was
Yeah.
nobody else there, and I said, hey, Michael, here's this press release. I'm giving you the early scoop on
You got the
this startup.
exclusive. Absolutely.
Exactly. And I'm like, I'm launching this in like 3 weeks. You can post like a day ahead of time. I won't mention to anybody else. The New York Times will be on hold.
Yeah, yeah.
And he wrote back and he goes, I've got no news for tomorrow. Can you finish it for tomorrow instead of 3 weeks? And I'll make you my cover story. And the best thing happened, which was also the worst thing, which was it blew up overnight. And I wasn't prepared, and I was not prepared for 40,000 people to be using the site. And like I had those times to like put in front of a handful of people to hear, what are things that you like, what are things you don't like,
Yep.
what are potential problems that you see showing up. I didn't do any of that stuff. There's two lessons there. One is say no. Like, learn to say no. No is like one of the most valuable words in the entire world.
Mm,
There's so often you think you're missing out on something by saying no, and you'll end up realizing that if it doesn't feel right, or you feel like you're squeezing yourself into a bad position, you're drastically better off saying no. And I'm sure if I would have said no, he would have been fine publishing the article in 3 weeks. And it's not his fault; it was my fault. But then the other thing is being prepared for success. Like,
for sure.
I think we're all taught to be prepared for failure, you know, but like, be at least somewhat prepared in case everything works out better
Right.
than you expected.